So one very important thing you got to know as a student or university student is, if you are ambitious, many ideas will come in your mind, and it's like the human brain is one of the most productive thing I'd say. But then many of these ideas which come in your mind gets lost after a while. The first thing, you got to write the ideas which comes up, and after that pitch the ideas. So the ideas which come up might be very interesting to you, or to you it might seem like it's actually feasible. But then, when you pitch to people, many of the problems which are in this idea will come up. And then your idea will become very sustainable, very feasible. So write down ideas and pitch it to people.
If you want to be fast, go alone. If you want to go far, then go together. Teamwork is very important if you want to get a big project done. Think about a company, think about a government, think about large-scale organizations where hundreds, even thousands of people are working together to make a big goal happen. You can't make that happen on your own. You may be very smart, you may be very passionate, you know all about technology, but in the end you need to depend on other people too. That's why develop your teamwork skills as an ambitious student as early as you can.
As an ambitious student, doing great in exams, taking classes, that's really important. But then you'll always have to remember that the class is bigger than your university's classroom. The world is your class. And in that sense, you will have to learn beyond your classroom. So no matter what you come across, something interesting, something maybe not in your study field, but then you will have to study that, you will have to read that. And the more you read beyond your so-called major or main subject, the more you will learn, the more diverse your knowledge will be. So always try to learn beyond your classroom.
You will often find yourself involved in different projects. Some of them from your university, some of them from the extracurricular activities that you're doing. Maybe you're doing part-time or an internship at some other place. In any case, and in all cases, you will definitely need to manage your time, and you will need to understand how to prioritize. You'll need to understand Pareto principle, so which 20% of your activities are bringing 80% results. You will need to understand that your time, even though you're a student, is very, very precious. You probably already do, and if you do, then you need to know how you are going to utilize it. Manage your time, manage your energy, and then you can successfully manage all the projects that you're working on.
So having a good communication skill, that's one of the most important things for any person. No matter if you're running a business, if you're going to work in a corporate, you got to have a very good communication skill. By that I don't mean that you got to have very good skill in any particular language, or you got to know a lot of vocabs or things like this. So if you know, most of the communications are done non-verbally. In that case, you might not have to speak up even. But then you'll have to be clear at your communication. Make sure your communication is clear, make sure your communication is respectable to others, and make sure you are like giving away the information that you just want to give. Be as simple as that, be as clear as that. Then your communication will be really nice, and always work on that, because the world right now runs on communication skills, runs on networks. So always remember that.
Systems thinking. This is something that many of us are not used to. We live our life in a natural way, the way we have been brought up. We've seen our friends, we've seen fellow students, and that's basically set up our internal thinking process, and that's how we're making decisions. But when we think of systems thinking, we need to see things from a bigger, a bird's eye view perspective. So what needs to happen is that we need to look at the repetitive patterns. We need to understand how a system works, what are the elements, what are the components that are working in order to make the system function, and then we can find the problems, or we can find what is causing the bottleneck, and that's going to help us figure out how to make the system more efficient. You see guys, everything is part of a system. Even the way we wake up and the way we go to bed, what we are doing in between, everything is part of a system. So if I eat a lot of junk food, I'm going to be more sleepy. I'm going to lack energy because my body is going to feel a lot more relaxed because of the extra food, extra fat that I have consumed. But if I stay on a lean diet, I'm going to feel more fit and energetic. And when you think about an organization, think about a club, if the president does not communicate well with the rest of the team members, the rest of the executive body members, then the club is not going to function as well. It's not going to be as efficient. So everything is part of a system. Try to understand the pattern, the behavior of the system, and what can be done in order to remove the bottleneck and in order to make it more efficient. And the 5 C's of system thinking are clarity, compassion, curiosity, courage, and choice.
So we always have that mindset that I will have to stick within my job description or the position I have. But we often come across some problems which we can get in and solve. But then we often wait for others to solve it. In that case, I would say, as an ambitious student or an ambitious person, don't wait for others to come in and solve the problems. You yourself should go there, solve the problem, and get things done. That should be the mindset. And if you do it, you will see that many things are getting easy in your life, in your company, or if you're working in a club, things are going really great. Always remember that.